Mm.
Hey everybody! It's another episode of your podcast 17s. This is just the pre-show while we set up. We're using a new recording system today, so bear with us.
Hopefully it'll work.
I've had a haircut as well, as you can see. Probably no one fucking
Do you have the
anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Do you have the link so you can post in the group chat?
What, for the YouTube?
Yes.
No, I don't, but I will get it, because I'm that nice.
You're also the host, so you should.
I don't get why it's my job. I mean, they know they should be just subscribed. They should get a notification.
They should, but
So unprofessional.
I'd say the listeners from.
hey Patrick, it's a red Solo cup.
What?
You ever heard the song?
No.
You guys haven't heard the song, really?
No.
I'm not even in the group chat, so do it, John. I sent you.
Oh, okay.
Someone put it in there, so it's okay. Very awkward silence we have here.
Oh, there we go.
Awkward silence.
I should go the whole show and just have my sunglasses on. That's what I should do.
You got many people in the chat today, so it's depressing. Get up on this.
It's an earlier time. Well,
It's gone
yes,
time.
It's gone time.
About 10 minutes past.
But it's the same thing we do every weekend. Try to take.
Take over the world.
We host a podcast. That's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I am going to wear my sunglasses because my eyes are killing me from allergies right now. So.
Whoa.
Ugh.
You kind of look like you're blind.
What? I can't see anything. No. Maybe I'm a secret agent. Maybe that's it, huh? Maybe that's
Secret
it.
agent that's blind.
I am not.
Yee.
Oh god, if you're gonna give me such hard issues about that, there, I'll take them off. Gosh.
Are those the ones you flip? Can you just leave them flipped up?
No, they're magnetic.
Oh, I was hoping it was the ones that flip over.
No, wait, put like that. Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
Magnetic
Right.
shades.
magnetic.
We should probably start the podcast.
Oh, tell me when to start, and I will gladly hit that magical record
Okay,
button.
should we all record just to be safe?
It's up to you if you want to.
Well, I'll do it just like so we've got a backup if need be, but I
Okay,
don't.
do you
but
actually
I
want-
won't.
Do you want to record it then, Patrick?
It's
I
best
should-
you do it because you
I know.
do it
I'm,
as well.
I'm recording
because-
now. Yeah, I am.
That's fine then. Okay, I'll.
But you have all the settings should be saved for you from earlier, so.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm recording as well. Okay. Okay, so we'll go live. Oh no, wait, shit. We're meant to like go 3, 2, 1 to do the recording. So stop.
Hold on,
recording.
now I gotta delete that.
Stop it. Start it.
Yes.
Do it again. It's been around 3 times.
No.
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 Okay, now I'm ready. Alright, whenever you're ready, and then I'll.
Okay. So I need to leave my phone.
This is starting so well.
Okay. Right. Going live on live in 3, 2, 1, and live. Welcome everybody to another episode of Podcast 17. This is your weekly one-stop shop for Valve, indie gaming, and mod news. I fucked that up a bit, but it's fine because we're professional. I'm your host Patrick Wilson, Boxel Boy. With me today is the regulars, John Sullivan from Valve Time.
What's up?
Hello, John, and also Vic from Lambda Generation,
Hello.
who is doing our screen sharing, which I should actually put full screen because I've got John's face up here. And no one wants to see that.
I'm just
up
that
close.
cool. Oh, you're so cool.
Ah.
Oh.
So we'll start off with a bit of what's up. Normally we talk about the new YouTube releases, but of course William's wedding just happened. Congratulations to him and Stephanie. So there haven't been any new videos, I don't believe.
No, not really.
Nah, nothing. No way. It might be a Half-Life video. I don't care. No, but you should watch them because they're good. But I don't watch the Half-Life ones personally. So let's see what everyone's been playing then. John, what you been playing?
Well, first, it was my birthday this past week.
Oh, happy birthday!
Happy
John.
belated birthday.
Thank you. But recently I've been playing, let's see, CS:GO, Man vs. Machine, and that's pretty much it on TF2.
What are you thinking about CS:GO then? They're officially with their pre-order beta now, so pretty much all ready to release.
I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's fun. I mean, there's
You
some
sound
stuff
really enthusiastic about that.
I'm also very tired.
I'm enjoying it.
No, I mean, I've been having fun because they've tweaked it so much since when it first started in the beta process. So I'm happy with some of the stuff they've done to it. But,
I played a bit of it myself as well. I'm really quite enjoying it. Like I tend to not play Source as much, and I barely ever will play 1.6. But I always feel like I'm always worried because I'm not the most skilled at Counter-Strike, and it's a very twitchy, professional like sort of players area to go into. But I think CS:GO you can have real good fun with actually, and especially if you play on stuff like casual mode. I mean, casual mode you got like the taser and like you don't have to worry about team killing and stuff like that. It's a lot more of a fun environment for someone like me who's not like a really competitive Counter-Strike player who's a bit worried about going into something that competitive. So I really like
Taser is so hard to get a kill with.
Yeah, it is.
I've only on one kill, but yeah. Well, I'm hoping they have gun game, and when it launches, they're going to have the.
They have arms race. That's gun game.
They have arms race. Yeah, arms race.
Yeah, demolition as well. Demolition is.
Yeah, which is like a sort of.
It's like a
gun game, half bomb disposal, isn't it? I think.
Yes.
And then the zombie mod is coming out when it releases next week.
It's going to be a community thing, though. It's going to be a community thing.
Yeah, that's not like official Valve, is it?
No.
Well, they were working closely with them, but it'll be officially released by Valve. But they were working, I think, closely with the modding team that did it before.
It's I think it's going to be a community exclusive for Plaguefest, which is this multiplayer community. I think it's going to be exclusive for them. They have a server up already.
Oh, that's cool. So if you want your zombies, you don't even have to go to Call of Duty anymore. So it's all good. So Vic, what have you been playing?
I've been playing the same things he's been playing. But I've also tackled Splinter Cell. Last week I was doing Double Agent.
Oh yeah, Double Agent.
Then I finished that, which is good because I was getting tired of its bad PC port. And I moved on to Splinter Cell 1, which I played on my PlayStation 3. The problem is that's also bad port. I was sort of halfway through, and it actually crashed. I've never seen my console actually crash a game, but it did. My saves got corrupted, so I actually moved on next game because it's an HD trilogy release. I'm stuck on that one. It's Pandora Tomorrow. It's pretty fun though.
Oh yeah, Pandora Tomorrow. Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, I really love them too.
What's your opinion on like Conviction? Because it's quite different. All things considered.
No, Conviction is I guess they needed something to keep it a bit more fresh. Chaos 3 was kind of a pinnacle of all that. Double Agent felt like a third leg. But Conviction still went a bit overboard, I'd say. Could have used a bit more of that classic flavor. But Blacklist is really the black sheep. Blacklist is going to be awful. I wouldn't play Blacklist for anything.
I like Conviction, and to be honest, I like the look of Blacklight, but I don't like it as if it's a Splinter Cell game. I think they should have maybe. Of course, doing a new IP is dangerous according to investors and all this lot, so I'm not gonna do that. But it's like I felt like the reboot of Prince of Persia. Like if you're gonna do something like that sort of different and completely unrecognizable, then just call it its own thing. If it's a good game, people will still play it.
Yeah. I think
like,
that makes sense. But
It's just abusing franchises, you know.
yeah,
I have never played a Splinter Cell game, so
You should definitely try. You should definitely try them, especially older ones. And Conviction is good as well. Like
problem is
different as it is, it's still a very good game.
the problem is that on the PC they're almost unplayable on modern machines, right? Like they've got huge lighting and shadowing errors, and the game itself relies so much on lights and shadows that the game itself just sort of breaks at one point.
Yeah, I can see why that could be a problem.
Yeah, and Double Agent is also really badly ported, but unlike the first three ones, the lighting and shadowing issues aren't as important. Conviction is pretty much the only one that actually works right out of the box.
Mm. That's good. I haven't had much time to play anything at all because I've been sort of revising for an exam that's coming up next week.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a biggie, so hopefully that'll go well. But what I have had a chance to play in sort of the meantime is not only Man vs Machine, which I had to for the podcast, but also I went back and played Final Fantasy IX, which was like one day I was just like, I haven't played a good one while. Final Fantasy IX. Pulled out my Final Fantasy IX case from like the dusty cupboard, put it into like a PlayStation. There's so much nostalgia. Like I love 9, and 9 I think is a game that not many people have played because I know everyone's played 7. A lot of people played 8 and didn't like it. 9 is kind of like it's a really good game, and it's a real hark back to the old sort of Final Fantasies. But I don't think anyone's ever. No, not many people have like praised it up. I don't think.
Is it bad if I say I've never played a Final Fantasy game either?
Me neither.
Really?
Not a single one.
I'm being honest. Never.
Crazy. You guys need to play. You play the ones you have to play are 6, 7, 10. I'd say 9 as well. Now I'm going back on it.
It's gonna be counting down every single one.
just play them all, guys. Yeah, you can get. There's so many re-releases now that you can get something. But the DS ports are really good. If you've got a DS, there's some 3D ports of.
Yeah, and then 7 is coming out on Steam pretty soon.
Well, is it coming out on Steam or is it only coming out on Square's website? Because I remember.
I'm not sure, but there have been Final Fantasy VII files on Steam, the Steam database for a really long while, even before that announcement, like years before. So we might see it on Steam as well.
Because there was a bit of controversy like recently where Square accidentally, while testing the website, let people buy copies of a very unfinished version of the game. And a lot of people were demanding refunds and stuff like this. So we don't know. Oh well, I'd love it to come to Steam. That'd be fantastic for me. Like I'm probably going to get it on the PC port, even if it's off Square's website. I don't mind that much. But there's a Steam release. So yeah, that's what we've all been doing. So let's move on now to Podcast 17 news. Just a reminder to everyone, we've got a new Twitter page called The Potato, which is sort of a parody sort of news Twitter page. So subscribe to that. The link for it is on the podcast agenda. And I wrote a couple of jokes on there and things like that. So starting to open up. Lambert is sort of like the main guy who's running it, but I've added a couple of things on there you might find funny. So check that out. And follow up on errata. Of course, we talked about Counter-Strike is for sale, and if you pre-purchase it, you get 10% discount and access to the beta, which is available. And the beta is really good, so definitely go check that out and definitely give it a buy. We also got From the Mouth of Valve. We've got the big Steam community overhaul, which is quite a big deal. How many of you guys have got access to the beta, actually, out of interest?
I got in as soon as they announced it.
I've got it as well.
Yeah, we all have it then. That's perfect, so we can all talk about it. So there was basically, they had 4 days of different changes to the Steam community to really re-innovate things. And I think a big part of this is Steam Big Picture mode coming so soon. This big overhaul is going to probably help the interface for that as well. So
I figured that's what the whole thing was because of Big Picture mode.
Yeah. So we got day 1. We've got game hubs, as it says on the page here, collections of game-centric discussions, workshop items, screenshots, videos, and news. So it basically takes all the little elements on Steam that you could find about a game, like the news feed and all screenshots your friends may have had, or the workshop items, and just puts them all into one place. So that was a cool feature, and there's tabs to easily move along. You can easily see how many people on Steam in total are playing it in the group chat for the game. You've got discussions set up individually for the games, which makes it a lot easier than having to go to the Steam forums, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
and like it says here, everything is in one place. It's really handy. It's really handy. And all the content it can be rated up and down or reported by the fans or favorited, so everything's kind of regulated, which is really handy as well. And it says here, every game has a hub. So if you're really wanting to have a discussion about, I don't know, Cold Fear, you can have that. Cold Fear will have a hub, which is crazy. I'm gonna get in on that actually. So also we've got group updates, so big updates for the groups as well, very similar to the Game Hub, where integrate discussions into the groups, and you can personalize the groups with specific games reliant to them, and easy to see what members are in. This is going to be big for us because hopefully it means if you guys have any discussion topics you want to talk about, not only can you send them through the website, you can also instantly start talking on our Steam page and actually have discussions with us, like joining in as well live, and then we can discuss it on the podcast. So I think it's a really cool update for us. It's gonna be really handy.
I agree.
Definitely.
You've got day 3 content updates, so you have an image wall and all your content, your videos and all is in one place, which is very nice. And day 4 friend activity, there's a lot more stuff you can look up on what your friends are doing, so you can peer straight into their souls. There's also status updates, so as everyone's been saying, Steambook, even I was guilty of making that joke, but yeah, it's cool because I like putting funny statuses and all this lot, and the people who are going to get the stupid shit I type are the people who listen to Podcast 17 and my friends on Steam, so that's really handy. And something else which is really handy is a nickname feature. You can nickname your friends anything. Even if they change their Steam name, it will still come up as that nickname, which is so handy for some of you pricks out there who change your Steam name every 5 minutes. And I go to look at View Alias to know who the hell you are, and you've changed like 50 times to the point I've lost your original name and I don't know who you are. So that will help me.
Yeah, it was needed. It was needed. One more thing which I wanted to bring up was just the other day, the Steam Store got this long-awaited feature, volume sliders for videos.
That's
They-
nice.
Yeah, they literally
Yeah, because it's only a mute button, isn't it?
Yeah, they finally added it. They had this fake press release for it where it was saying after 2 years and 6 development teams and 1 big task force, we finally added this feature to the game, to Steam. But yeah, I think it's live right now, and what can I say? It was time. It was about time.
We're in 2012 now. It's the future. We need volume sliders.
There's one thing though that I wish they have added, and they never did, and that would be the ability to record gameplay through Steam.
That's a tough one. They've been working on that since they debuted the screenshots, but it's understandably a very tough kind of thing to do.
I mean, it's a huge
No,
undertaking, like not only for them to actually integrate it into Steam like that, but also for like the hardware people are using. I mean, they need to. I think if Steam is going to want to find some kind of system that isn't going to be like Fraps, where it takes up huge amounts of memory and does a huge amount of pressure on your computer itself. So.
The other thing is that, this kind of Steam video feature wouldn't necessarily include just you getting a beating from your internet and your hardware, but also Valve itself, right? Because the Steam Cloud will be responsible for posting up all these videos every single day. You probably have like thousands of videos being posted up, and it could be a drain on Valve's abilities.
It's a really huge undertaking. I mean, it'd be nice, but I think they need to take baby steps really, because they're trying to do a lot right now. I mean, not only have they've like completely branched out into all sorts of game genres now with Dota and stuff like this, but also they've got this big picture mode coming up, Steam Greenlight. I mean, it's like a huge time right now.
For Valve, yeah. Next year is probably going to be even crazier.
Mm.
Well, I'm just hoping one of these days that they somehow come up with the ability to record gameplay. Though I think that'd be kind of cool, a neat feature to add. But
is it just me, or is the countdown on the community page actually counting down, up? Like it's going down.
Yeah, it's
the number
going
of
down.
screenshots. This is strange.
It's kind of going up, then down, then up, then down. I don't know what's happening with this thing.
Maybe people deleting everything.
Maybe.
ARG.
Oh yeah.
What are the numbers?
Countdown to 0 is
What are
Half-Life
numbers
3.
mean, Mason?
Mason, what are the numbers? Oh, fuck that game.
But this whole thing, I've been trying it out for about 1 or 2 days, and no, I think it's really cool. It's huge, and friend activity is great. Being able to post your status is awesome. But I think the design as a whole is kind of cluttered. I'm looking everywhere in these screenshots in my face, and I can't tell who's posting this, who's posting that, and the navigation itself is kind of sluggish. It acts really slowly. Loading is kind of slow as well, and especially on the game hubs, it's really cluttered. So on the whole, I really like it,
I
but
agree with you on that, Vic.
I definitely have to say that it needs more work on the whole, because it's a great idea, but yeah.
One of the things I hate about like Facebook moved to this timeline system. It's that everything is sort of like it's like sort of patchy. Like before, when you had a wall, it was like sort of the information came down like this, and you were like, okay, I can see it, or it's in this column. Whereas now it's like there's this thing here, and then there's a thing just down here, and then that slots in there, and it's very higgledy-piggledy. And the game hub at the minute is very much like that. Like there's shit everywhere, everything's different sizes.
It's not in a
and for me, that
order.
just gives me a freaking migraine to look at.
It doesn't have a discernible
It's horrible to look at.
Yeah, I agree.
Like.
The timeline is awful.
I think it
it's
does
awful. That's the problem with it. I can't tell
mm.
what I'm looking at, when it came out, who did it, and that's the same problem here with friend activity. But I don't think Valve necessarily modeled what they were doing off of what Facebook was doing. But on the whole, it definitely looks like they ran into the same problem. That's not cool.
I always feel if you're going to do this thing with a huge amount of information, make it easy to split up and easy to see without because the eye is like the way eye is drawn on a web page is a very specific way, and if there's shit all over the place, you're just not looking at it, you're just like sort of like completely scanning it, not taking anything in because it's too all over the place. You can't physically. No one does this while they're reading the web page. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Up and down. Simple as that.
Yeah, like you can see here, like this is like there's you've got like this big picture, then a middle-sized picture of two pictures underneath, and then a big picture beside it. And
it makes no sense. And they say most popular. I cannot tell which one's most popular because they have 5 small ones at the top, then one big one, then one medium-sized one. I cannot tell what they're doing. It makes no sense.
It's very trendy, don't get me wrong, but maybe at the age of 19 I'm already an old fuck. He doesn't like
schizophrenia is trendy. Schizophrenia is trendy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it does need some work, but I think it's a great step to be taken because as much as I like Steam, as much as I like the Steam interface and things like that, it is getting outdated. And if they want to push like Steam as a more like social environment for gamers to come together and things like this, and making it almost like which I think they're going towards is sort of like the Facebook of gaming, like that kind of area of community. It sounds silly to say, but they're aiming for that sort of community appeal. But yeah, so I think it's a step in the right direction at the very least.
Yeah, that still needs a lot of work, and I have confidence that if they keep on it, it's going to get better.
Okay, let's move on now to the Half-Life 3 rumors, because everyone's going to want to hear about this. So Gamescom, if you're not sure what happens, there was a list released of what games would be announced at Gamescom. I think that's what the list said.
If you don't mind, I could sort of talk about this for a second, because I was kind of really involved with it. Yeah, so sometime on the 14th, someone realized that the official, well, not necessarily official, but a PDF file that was on the Gamescom website, that was kind of like this list of releases they had, saying which games would show up at Gamescom. Half-Life 3 was at the bottom, under Valve. It was literally right there. Apparently, there was a little disclaimer on that PDF saying we do not claim responsibility for this. All these names are taken from forums and whatnot. No, but it was really interesting, right? Because what reason would they have to post up an unofficial document on their official website? So, I called these guys on the phone, and I got put through to a representative, and she said that I was asking a question, each and every game on that list, will it be showcased on Gamescom 2012? And she said yes. And then I asked if the list itself is legitimate. She said yes. So, that definitely seemed pretty concrete. But then people started talking. Eurogamer talked to someone else, I believe. I don't know how, email or phone. They were told that Half-Life 3 and Dragon Age 3 appearing on that listing was a mistake. Then Valve said they're not showing anything off at Gamescom this year. Then some more contradicting stuff, conflicting messages came out, and now it's the 18th. It's been 4 days since then. Gamescom ends tomorrow, so it doesn't seem as if anything will be going down at all.
I think it kind of it sounds silly now, but at the time everyone was like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" Like it's coming out. But then when you really think about it, they got way too much like shit going on right now. Like
Yeah, I agree.
way too much. Like because they got big picture, green light, community overhaul, Counter-Strike Go release, Dota 2 release, the Portal 2's perpetual testing initiative is still being updated.
Yeah.
Source Filmmaker, it's like just way too much to go. Oh, and by the way, we're also going to release Half-Life 3 next year. It's
Yeah. The thing is,
totally
if they show off Half-Life 3, like right now, no one's going to care about anything else at all. No? As much as we like to pretend that they could do publicity thing for 3 games at once, they could try, but it wouldn't work. Everyone would be focusing on Half-Life 3, and since it would be a $50 release, everyone would be putting their money towards buying that, and it would be counterproductive for Valve themselves. It just wouldn't work. I don't think so. And the other thing is, obviously, we had that cameo appearance from Gabe on
Game
no, not Game Trailers. What was it? The Kickstarter thing with Neil Stevenson.
Yeah.
Where Neil Stevenson asked, "Is that about ready?" Which I think reflected sort of what a lot of fans are thinking, that it's got to be ready by now. It's been 5 years, and Gabe says these things, they take time. I'm pretty sure that's meant to mean that we're not going to see it for another while, at least another year or something.
Yeah. I totally still think it sounds really stupid to say, but 2013 Half-Life 3. I think 2013 is going to be the date. They're just going to make like sort of the date thing work.
Yeah, 3rd of March 2013 makes a lot of sense.
It sounds silly. It's like releasing the like when they released the Omen on the 6th of the 6th of the 6th. But like,
yeah, it was like
nice little marketing.
Skyrim did the same thing, right? 11 November 2011.
Yeah, they did it as well. Yeah, I just think as much as I was suckered in by this, because initially when it was announced, it was like, oh, it's on the list. I was like, it won't come out. No. And they were like, and at the bottom it was like, like saying, we can't guarantee anything. This could all be wrong. So I was like, oh, well, it's not coming out then. And then like you rang up and they were like, yeah, every game is going to be shown. And I was like, not coming out. And then you get this more and more information where like they take off the list and people are like, it's been a clerical error, and you're like, it might come out now because this seems like they're trying to cover it up. It might come out. Oh my god, Half-Life 3, and then Valve's like, nah, and you just sink, because I was at a zen point. I was at a zen point where I didn't care about Half-Life 3 anymore. I was like, when it comes out, it comes out. Whatever. I'll get excited when they announce something.
Yeah,
and then this came. I got pumped up again, and I got taken down again.
I just don't understand how it happened. It just makes no sense whatsoever. Putting this fake document on their official site, and then telling people who phone in that it's a real document, that they're going to show off every game on there, and then not showing this off, and then giving all these conflicting messages. It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened, but it was probably one of the biggest incidents of this kind that we've had since October 2007.
All I thought at the time was maybe it was someone trying to desperately cover up a ruined reveal. That was the only thing that made sense to me, other than the now kind of thing, like someone was playing a joke. You know what I mean? The guy who wrote the list was like, fuck it, we'll just put this on. But apparently Valve asked to have it on. This is the thing. There's a lot of conflicting information going on.
That's what I was told on the phone. I mean,
yeah.
It was the manager telling me that. So I don't know. I didn't press any questions on after that. That's what I was told, and I just wish I could have done more. But it was a public phone line, you know. The phone number was right there,
Hmm.
and no one else called, and no one else posted up any transcripts of this discussion, which was pretty strange.
Yeah, yeah, lazy journalism. That's what it is. IGN
Yeah,
can't be asked to get
yeah. I
off
mean,
their
on
ass
the
and just
Steam
type something in
forums,
the phone and go, is it actually? And I'm going, no, fine.
no, on the Steam forums, there were these people saying, "Oh, Vic, this guy is definitely this Vic guy. It's got to be lying, you know. We've got to protect ourselves, and this guy's lying, you know." And I considered, you know, posting there and saying, just call them and talk to them, but you know,
They'll
it's the
tell you the
Steam
exact same
forums.
thing
It's
you
the
told
Steam forums. It's the Steam forums. Why should I bother?
me. Those little trolls. Uh, anyway, let's move on from this because it's really non-news, to be honest.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the big TF2 stuff, let's talk about the Saxy Awards. They've been announced as second annual Saxy Awards coming this fall, and the big thing is as well that all the work to be created from Source Filmmaker. They say it will feature stuff from Source Filmmaker, so I assume if you want to use the replay system, you can, but at this point, pretty much everyone's going to be using Source Filmmaker.
No one cares about replay anymore.
Nah, fuck replay. You know what I mean? So we've got the categories announced are Best Action, Best Drama, Best Comedy. The new one, I think, Best Original Universe, and
Yeah, that's
Best
the new one.
Overall.
They've removed a lot though from last year.
Yeah.
They had like almost 10 different categories. Now they only have 5. It's a good choice though.
Well, it makes sense with Source Filmmaker because like people are going to make fully formed movies and stuff now. They're going to make short films. Whereas a replay,
actually,
it was like
yeah.
funniest pratfall because you know you just record like some guy getting shot in the face with a rocket on TF2. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, the thing is they've got a limit though. Like entries must be no longer than 5 minutes.
Mm.
So yeah, it's kind of a shame though. As I mean, imagine if they had this huge feature film contest, and you know you'd see things like War Servers and Doctor Strange Man coming in. It would be crazy.
I think this year it's sort of like the middle ground between because Source Filmmaker's just come out. I mean, Saxy's had this system last year with the replay. I think they're sort of like a middle ground. I think maybe next year they'll move into the more like, okay, you can make a film. Like that's fine with us. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
But all your entries must be submitted. Only
Well,
that are submitted between November 1st. and
Go on,
12
John.
a.m.
Go on.
I was just gonna say, do you know what Best Original Universe is? Don't you? Or Universal, whatever.
We're
it
not
is.
quite sure what it is. Do you know?
It is everything has to be done by you. Like the settings, the props, everything that you have has to be made by you.
Ah, so it's
So-
so they're saying like put content into our Source Filmmaker now. Like they're not
Yeah.
like blocking that off anymore.
No, I don't think they ever blocked it off at any point.
Well, it was a bit arduous to get custom content into the Source Filmmaker initially.
Yeah, it's always arduous to get stuff like that in Valve's tools. You know how problematic they can be.
Yeah,
They also said that you can use stuff from other things, but you have to make sure you have permission from the author that did them.
Yeah, explicit
if-
permission.
Right. So that's either a map,
no
an
putting
item.
Master Chief in to fight fucking Gordon Freeman. I don't want to see that. alright?
Unless you get permission. But
Yeah, just get Bungie enters and just wins a Saxy, whatever.
but
No,
Did you
Bungie couldn't
see-
do it. Bungie couldn't do it either. Because Bungie doesn't have Halo anymore.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's
Bill
so they'd be
Gates just
disqualified.
Bill Gates does it.
But wait, you want to read off what the prize is there, Vic?
Oh, sure. So the winner of Best Overall is actually going to be flown to Valve for this big filmmaking session with the Source Filmmaker devs. And their short is going to be aired on the GTTV VGA pre-show this December. Like, the whole thing is just going to be there on Game Trailers TV, which is huge, obviously. And I was kind of hoping that they'd have something with Adult Swim, because they were talking about that. They were saying it's not done yet. But they haven't mentioned it anywhere on here, so it's kind of a shame.
But more importantly, if you win any of the other categories, you get an in-game item.
Saxy War.
Not
A
just
Saxy
any
award.
game item. Saxy Award, which turns
A
people into gold.
Saxy award. Yes. Oh, does it?
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, really? Yeah.
You hit them and then they're gold. You know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm gonna do.
What
I
are
have
you
to do
going to do?
something for something that deals with Christopher Walken.
Oh no, no
Christopher
way!
Walken in TF2.
Christopher Walken will be in TF2. That's the goal.
Wow.
We'll do
You'd
it.
have to get his. I'm sure he probably has a copyright to his own likeness. So you'd have to talk to Walken.
Well, it'll be something
You
close
want
to
a
it.
short film? Yeah, let's do it.
This guy.
I'm in a sexy.
I can imagine him saying that too.
Yes, that's a Saxy Award. Like I was saying just now, only entries submitted between November 1st at 12 a.m. and November 15th at 12 a.m. will be considered. And the voting begins November 16th, and the community-chosen nominees will be announced December... No, the winners, sorry, selected by Valve, will be announced on December the 31st, so just after Christmas. That'll be a nice Christmas gift for everyone, a nice Saxy Award.
Us three should totally just make a film and submit it. That's
Yeah.
what we should do.
Not Christopher Walken. That's what you should do. Telling
We
you.
still do a voice we can do. I know what Vic can do. I don't think your range is that big, Vic. Come on.
What are you talking about there?
I thought Vic could do
Alright.
Borat.
Do an impression. Do anyone.
My name is
Only
Borat.
Birdo.
My name is Borat.
Yeah, he could.
He could do Borat.
That's his range because he's 4 and he could do Borat. There we go. The worst film ever made on Sword Filmmaker.
Borat meets Christopher Walken. Incredible.
I have to find something I can do now. I don't know. So anyway, that's it for TF2. There's no more big news, I don't think. So we'll just move on.
There's a big CS:GO trailer, which I don't think we've covered it.
Well, there is
Oh, yeah,
something
of
else.
course.
Wait. There is something else. If you don't mind me interrupting you, Vic.
Go on.
The only thing is, if you do pre-order CS:GO, you get the upper hand for TF2.
What?
You get the upper hand.
The upper hand.
Oh
The
my
op.
god!
Yeah, this thing is pretty cool.
So you get another gun that does nothing new. It's just a cosmetic.
It's genuine. It's genuine.
It's genuine. It's got
There
a
you
green
go.
logo.
Genuine upper hand.
Anyway, I'm
So
sorry.
we can
I just
eat that shit up later. Eat it up.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to get that out there so everyone knows. So go pre-order it now. Get your upper hand.
But
we
yeah,
should probably,
so
we should probably show this trailer and then talk about GTTV because we kind of missed out on that.
yeah, we're gonna go on to that. But on the GTTV episode, which was this Valve-centric special, they debuted kind of a small teaser for the big CS:GO launch trailer, and they released it not long after that. It's this 4-minute cinematic video, which is kind of like this regular round on the nuke. Terrorists try to bomb this nuclear facility. Counter-terrorists come in. It's really well done. Lots of great production values. You can tell they spent a lot of time on this, and if you ask me, it's probably the best thing Valve's ever done in terms of cinematic videos.
When I watched it, I wanted to grab a bag of popcorn.
Yeah.
'Cause it was neat watching it. I thought it was just really well done.
I agree.
I was a bit like sort of, oh, so that's why the terrorists are trying to bomb that place. Because you always play Counter-Strike and you go like, why am I bombing this place? You're in Dust. You're like, oh, there's just a couple crates here.
Yeah, this is a nuclear facility.
Nuclear facility. It makes sense now.
Maybe
Australia
they're
maybe
trying to get. Maybe they're trying to get an unusual hat.
Well,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
called
fine.
nuke for a reason, after all.
Yeah.
Nuke.
Nuke.
Duh. The nuke.
Nuke. Was it? Is Italy a bomb site as well?
Nah, Italy's
No,
a hostage thing.
Yeah, hostage.
Aztec is a bomb. one,
Aztecs.
isn't
Yeah, Aztecs.
it? What are you trying to blow up in Aztec?
Because it's
Maybe there's gold.
There's gold. Ancient
there's a
Aztec.
crystal skull. The crystal skull.
I'd like to see that trailer. The terrorists going in and blowing up an Aztec temple so they can find like Aztec gold in the crystal skull. That's the trailer I want.
There we go. That's what I'll make. I'll make that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boron, Christopher Walken, go hunting
But-
for Aztec gold.
But there's no indie model though. Dang, that's it. Somebody
Oh.
out there, make an Indiana Jones model for me to use in Source Filmmaker.
And get the rights from get the rights.
We'll call it Indiana Smith and Wesson. I don't know.
What?
I'm making a name up. Well, I was going to say Indiana Smith, but that was actually the name they were going to use before they called it Indiana Jones. But that's a
Really?
whole
Indiana
other-
Smith?
I kid
Indiana
you not.
Mr. Smith. Oh, that's not good, is it? Dr.
Indy
Smith.
Smith. Indy Smith.
That's so lame. You might as well have called him Indy Brown for all the good.
Indy Brown.
Yes, that's me.
But this
That's
is
Laura.
this is a really cool thing, you know. Like they've got some really awesome visual effects. But you know, you can tell that you know they embellished this a bit. Like at one point, this guy throws a grenade and it just kills this guy in one hit. Thing is, in CS:GO, you can stand on a grenade and it's only going to do like 16 damage points. It's amazing.
Oh, the inaccuracies! Oh God, the inaccuracies!
I mean, you know, you got the in this trailer monsters are the GSG-9, which are a real life counter-terrorist unit from Germany. Those guys were elite. For 30 years, they did 1,500 missions, and in all of those missions, they only fired their guns 5 times. But in this trailer, half of their team gets killed off, and they spend their entire ammunition trying to kill one guy. Not cool. Not cool.
You know, with this trailer and the Man vs. Machine trailer, I think are one of my favorites that Valve's done lately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really good.
And it makes me wonder that, well, how come they don't make a movie? You know, I mean, as we saw in Man vs. Machine trailer, you don't have to have the voice actor say anything, really. It was so much emotion put into it. You know,
To be fair, I think we're getting to the point where they will start considering making movies. I think because like Valve is trying to show itself it's a company more than just games. Like it's showing it can do all different kinds of games. Not only that, but also it can do this community system. It can make software. And why not eventually move into we can make a full featured movie? I mean, we can do animation clearly. We could do a full animated movie. I think it's going there. I don't know when they'll do it. Like I don't think it's anytime soon they'll do it. But they can...
Yeah, it's definitely far off. I'd prefer if you know they did it on something completely new. I think that'd have a lot more impact than them basically taking existing property and kind of making it into a movie artificially. Wouldn't be an interesting process.
well, everyone's been wanting a Half-Life movie, you know.
It
So.
wouldn't work. It wouldn't work, right? Like
Right.
Half-Life as an experience is so heavily focused on Gordon Freeman himself. I mean, you are Gordon Freeman in the game. I mean, you're at the center of this whole universe, and you know you're doing everything you need to see, right? Why do you want to see what some rebels doing in Kazakhstan or in Wisconsin?
Well, no,
or
I know,
something?
but I'm saying they'd have to actually develop a Gordon Freeman model, but
Oh,
I
no.
think it'd be
Well, that kills it. See,
That
because
kills
the whole
it. That
point of
kills
the
it.
Half-Life experience is you are Gordon. What you see is what happens, and what you do is what happens. So, like, if you had a movie, that completely takes away the dynamic of Half-Life.
does that explain why there are no mirrors then throughout the entire game?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it
because
was-
You
it
are
was-
meant to be Gordon Freeman.
It was
Or-
some little known facts here. It was unbelievably painful for Valve when they actually had to depict Gordon on the box art. You know, it was so painful. They didn't want to do it. And I believe at one point they were actually considering to make Gordon himself black.
They should have. They should have.
Yeah, I agree.
Funny
That would be
because
pretty
Gordon-
interesting.
Gordon is based off several of the developers, aren't they? That they took
In
features
Half-Life
from.
2, they based him off of Kelly Bailey, Eric Spyrer, and a bunch of others. But in Half-Life 1, you know, he had his own face. I don't know who drew him up exactly.
Well, anyway, let's move on now to what that trailer was first shown in, which was the GTV. Game Trailers TV. There's too many T's. Game Trailers TV did a whole special that was dedicated to being at Valve and sort of mainly about what Valve's doing. Except for iJustine came in and tried to sell you some
Oh god, that was so painful.
whatever that was.
Oh, I just like paused it and then fast forward.
Me too.
Yeah. We got iJustine.
Like,
No.
All right, continue.
Yeah, so nothing hugely groundbreaking, I don't think, was announced.
They said Big Picture Mode is going to get a beta in early September. It was
Yeah,
Greg Coomer
that's-
talking about it.
That's
that
the biggest thing. We knew that. We saw.
And
news
there
that
was
announced
the big Gamer Life trailer, which Gamer Life is going to be this documentary focusing
that's-
on five different Dota competitive players, and sort of gonna put that contrast that to their experiences at last year's the international tournament. So it's gonna be about that. It's gonna be five folks. I don't remember who exactly, but one's from Ukraine, one's from Singapore, one's from America. So it's gonna be pretty diverse. I think it's going to be really interesting.
I guess I can take back what my question is saying. When's Valve going to start making movies? Well, technically, I mean, I know it's a documentary, but this is technically their first movie.
And their first movie was actually a zombie movie.
Oh yeah,
this-
you're right. That weird Australian zombie film.
Yeah, that was made by members of Valve. I think 2 members of Valve. They put it on the Steam store. It's still on there. You can still download it.
Really?
You can still watch it. Yeah.
I
And,
They
That's
did
their
not know
first
this.
movie.
I'll give them that. You know,
It's their first
pretty-
movie. It's pretty funny, right? Like
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
I didn't know this.
yeah, you should,
Uh,
yeah. Everyone should check that out on there.
Now, and the other thing that they did in terms of movies was the infamous Half-Life Uplink. This wasn't made by themselves. It was made by this other company, this film company called Crash Course or something. And they did this little 5-minute thing, which had this reporter infiltrating Black Mesa. It was filmed in Great Britain. It was this awful thing. It was absolutely awful. I remember that Planet Half-Life. This hilarious review of it. It was unbelievable. And then it leaked out back in 2009. Finally got on the internet. Everyone saw it. It was absolutely awful. And yeah, that's why Valve doesn't make Half-Life movies.
That's probably why they haven't made a movie in a while. See, they've been burnt. Yeah, but that's pretty cool. Those are the 2 biggest things that came out of GTTV. Also, we had the Gabe is going to be eaten by sharks and will never finish episode 3.
Yeah,
He's going to Africa, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
a trip shark diving from about the 2nd or something to the 22nd.
I think
So
right
he's-
before the international starts, he'll be back.
Yeah, he's gonna be back on the international. But yeah, it's he was always saying like during that interview he kept saying that oh, sharks eat me, you're not gonna get Half-Life 3 anymore, so tell those sharks not to eat me or something. I didn't get
Well-
what that was all about. I think that those jokes were a bit too excessive. At one point I thought he's almost making a hint or something.
At least he's calling it Half-Life 3.
To be fair, Jeff said Half-Life 3 first, and then Gabe
Yeah.
said Half-Life 3.
Well, true.
That's kind of how Gabe does it. Whenever someone names it like that, he goes with it. He doesn't artificially name anything. But no, by this point, I think we can all expect that it's going to be Half-Life 3 and not Episode 3.
If it was an
What if
episode,
someone's-
we'd be gutted. I mean, there's no way they can do an episode at this point.
Well,
if that's why
even the very idea, the very notion of Half-Life 2 Episode 3 in 2012 is absurd. Because this would be like an add-on, standalone add-on, for an 8 to 9-year-old game, Half-Life 2.
yeah.
How would that branding make any sense whatsoever? That's beyond me. So I cannot take anyone who still believes it's going to be Episode 3 series.
It would be a frickin' Duke Nukem Forever. That's what it would
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Exactly that. Because Duke Nukem Forever, like, what it should have done should have been a parody of like the Duke Nukem idea itself. How like the way he acts should have been like in the modern age been ridiculous and shouldn't have been. But that game acts as if he was cool. It's the same thing with this. If they release an episode, that's a very outdated concept. It's linked to a game that was far out of its way. The linking doesn't match up after this amount of time.
Yeah. And the thing
exact-
is, you know what, along those Duke Nukem Forever lines, Yahtzee, Ben Crawshaw, probably the greatest video game critic
yeah,
of
I was
all
gonna
time, he wrote Duke Forever's script. At one point he was asked to join the team in a way. He wrote the script, which, Duke was kind of like this worn-out action star, and the game itself was making fun of him every third step of the way. But they said no. They wanted Duke to be serious. and stuff.
Everyone liked it, see? Like, the team liked it, but the lead, whose name I can't remember.
George Broussard?
George Broussard, he didn't like it, see? Because
I
he
don't-
wanted
I don't-
Duke to be cool.
I don't recall that. I guess, he just mentioned at the time that it wasn't something that flew with the rest of he didn't name any names. But
Mm.
I guess that's how it works.
Because I've
You
seen
know-
interviews with people who worked on the game basically, and they like brought it up. Like the interviewers were like, "Oh, like did, did you know about the Yahtzee script?" And they were like, "Yeah, it was really funny, but Rissard really wasn't into it at all. He didn't
Yeah.
like that they were making
Well,
fun." Or,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
yeah, really.
I would like to know if someone went up to Gabe saying, "So, Gabe, when's Half-Life 4 coming out?"
No, that's the thing, right? Like, once they're gonna be done with that, what are they gonna do? No, because the reason.
No,
they
just
wanted
like
to cut
skipping 3 though. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm just saying, how they're always about, oh, there's no 3s, there's no 3s. So somebody just goes up to him and says, well, when's Half-Life 4 coming out then?
No. The thing is, like,
Oh, next
when
month.
they're gonna do Half-Life 4, I have no idea what they're gonna do because going episodic was the whole point of sort of not making people wait another 5 years like they did for Half-Life 2. Now we've been waiting 5 years more for Half-Life 3, and it's gonna be hysterical. What are they gonna do with Half-Life 4? I just cannot comprehend.
All I say is they better not kill Gordon Freeman. They better not
no.
do it.
Not gonna do that. Not in a million years. I mean, who would they even replace him with? Adrian Shepard? I think Patrick
I
disconnected.
think Patrick disconnected.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, we're
okay.
still recording, Vic.
Yeah, we're still recording, so can I take the lead for a second?
Yeah, go ahead, unless he crashes, because if he crashes, then our Google Hangout's going to be over with.
It still says on air. Hold on, I'm gonna ask.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so until then, let's sort of take the lead and talk a bit about Man vs. Machine. So, this was the big thing that they finally revealed earlier this week, Man vs. Machine. It's gonna like this cooperative game mode for Team Fortress 2. It's completely.
Hi again, everyone who's listening. Really sorry about that. My internet just died and completely killed the broadcast. So that wasn't good. So we'll label this episode 201.5, and then we'll wrap up what we were going to talk about, Man vs. Machine and stuff like that. So you ready to record, John?
Yeah, I'm ready when you want to do the countdown.
Okay. Going live on live in 3, 2. Oh wait, hang on. Sorry. I'm just gonna call this.
I think this was a whole thing of us making fun of Half-Life 4.
Yeah, probably. Valve shut it down.
Gabe's like, shut them down now.
So should I call this recording on Mumble? Should I call that 0.5 as well?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. We should.
Okay, going live on live in 3, 2, 1, and recording. Okay, everyone, sorry about that. We had some downtime there because my internet connection died, which was awful. I think someone put in the chat the link for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it for us. Thank you very much, AD3. You got your shout out now. So we'll talk about the big thing, which we're going to talk about. To be honest, we think we were brought down by Valve for making fun of Half-Life 4 and Half-Life 3, so we'll ease up on that a bit, because clearly we've been taken down for our scrutiny. So let's move on to Man vs. Machine, which was the big TF2 update. 2 years it's
In the
hinted
making.
at. Yeah, it's been fully made for those 2 years. Yeah, it's been hinted all that time ago. In the engineer update was when I think we saw the first evidence. And it's finally out, and it's completely free. Well, sort of. It's completely free, and you can play it now. There was a great trailer with it, which sort of encapsulates all the stuff that's been built up in the 2 comics that were released, Blood Brothers, and I can't remember what the other comics were
Fate
called.
Worse Than Chess.
A Fate Worse Than Chess, which is an awesome name. Yeah, both really funny comics. Definitely check those out if you want some backstory on what the actual update is about from story perspective. And so basically what Man vs. Machine is, if people haven't heard of this, is it's a sort of wave defense game mode in TF2, completely cooperative. So basically, the story goes that a third brother, if you know anything about TF2 lore, two brothers, Redmond and Blutarch, are warring brothers who pay the Mercs to fight against each other. And the reason they do this is because there is inheritance left to them by their father, and whoever dies first, of course, will not get the inheritance because they're dead. So the last one alive will get the inheritance. So they're fighting constantly. They're both on life support, and they're both trying to outdo each other, basically. Turns out, though, there was a third brother that no one knew about called Greyman, and he has a robot army, which he's killed both the brothers, so all bets are off. And it's up to the Mercs to defend Manco from the
robot
invasion
army
of the robots. Yeah. So that's all there is to it in the story department. But basically, it works. It works sort of like a mix between a tower defense and a firefight mode, where
It also works a lot like a fair bit like Dota, I'd say.
Yeah, in a way. I guess you
Survival.
could say.
And survival mode almost too.
Yeah.
Firefight, yeah, that's fire.
Yeah. It's very, so basically, the way the game works is waves of robots come through of varying types, varying types based on different classes in TF2, as well as different weapons that they use, such as there could be a demo man, or there could be a demo knight who uses the sword. You could have scouts with scatter guns, or you could have scouts with home runners.
Yeah, these are special robots. Like there's regular robots, all 9 classes have their own weapons. There's also these subclasses that you've got.
And also there's 2 bigger things. There's the giant robots, such as you could have a giant soldier which has a machine gun fire, sort of machine gun level of rocket launcher, or a giant heavy who can shoot down projectiles like rockets and such. So you've got these big alternatives as well that are hard to take down. And basically, the robots are attempting to take a bomb and place it in a bomb disposal point at the end of the map. So what you need to do is make sure that the robots do not get that bomb to that point. So of course you don't want the big guys getting it because they're harder to take down, and the longer enemy is holding the bomb, the more buffs they get. So I can't remember the first buff, but I think
Defensive buff, which gives kind of extra endurance, and
Yep.
it's kind of a thing that goes across all nearby robots.
Also, I think the second boost gives them mini crits.
Regeneration, the second one.
Oh, was it regeneration? Second one.
Yeah.
Okay. And the third one, I guess, is crits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So-
also 2 other special types of robots. A Sentry Buster. It's kind of like this walking kamikaze bomb. Whenever a sentry gun is doing a lot of damage against the robots, the Sentry Buster will spawn. This guy is pretty tough. He walks straight for a sentry, and then he kind of sits down and he starts whirring up, and all of a sudden he blows up. He takes everything with him, even players. So you've got to take this guy out before he gets anywhere near the sentry base. The other big kind is the tank, which is kind of like a boss type. Like this is an actual boss type. Comes in after the second to last attack wave. He's kind of like this portable run tank. He doesn't have any attacks. He's pretty small, which is disappointing. But he takes a lot of damage, and if he gets to the big bomb hole, he kind of opens up and a bomb comes out, and he instantly moves around because he blows up. So he's very tough to take down. You've got to use a demo. You've got to use a crits heavy, a lot of punishment until that guy goes down.
It pretty much takes the whole team's cooperation. If you've got a team that isn't cooperating, then you're not going to take that thing down, because it does take a hell of a lot of firepower to take down. The Sentry Buster is actually quite funny because it's like this bomb on legs. It just sort of like, it's just no arms or anything. It's just this thing like runs around the map, and you're all trying to shoot it, but it's got a lot of health. Even if you do take it down, it just explodes. You want to get out of the way. So basically, it's always keeping the Engies on their toes, because if an Engie could just keep his turret up, most of the time you're probably going to be safe in the way. But the Sentry Buster kind of puts that extra bit of pressure. You have to move your stuff around constantly because the Sentry Buster will just blow it up. So that was really cool. Also, when it comes to the players themselves, this mode has added. Oh, sorry about that. This mode has added upgrades, which are really cool. Basically, you can go to an upgrade station, and with the money you earn from killing robots, because whenever a robot dies, they drop a bit of money. So you pick up this money, and then you can spend it on upgrades for your character and each of their weapons. Which is really interesting. You can do stuff like on rockets, you can add more rockets to clips or increase their firing speed. So you can almost have a machine gun rocket if you get enough money to do it, which is pretty impressive. There's stuff like fire resistance, blast resistance, health regeneration, metal regeneration for the engineers. They can also have extra sentries, like a small mini sentry to go on with their big sentry, more health for the sentries. There's a lot of upgrades for each class. It's really in depth, really well done.
It completely changes up the way they work at the most fundamental level.
Which is really cool because you can build like your own sort of custom class. You can you could focus a demo man on his sticky bomb launcher, but if you were playing you could play a melee. You can
turn him into the world's greatest demo knight. It's amazing.
Because you could just completely buff your defenses, have regenerating health, health on kill, blast resistance, bullet resistance, fire resistance, and then just beef up your sword, and you could just be a one-man army because you can tank like hell if you upgrade everything, which is great. It's really clever the way they've done it. And also you have canteens like Vic is showing on the screen now. It takes 4 scrap metal to craft one of these, or you can get them in a drop when you play the game.
Yeah, when you first finish a mission.
Yeah, and basically you can spend the money that you could spend on upgrades. You can also spend them on these canteens, and they do different things. Like one gives you a short 5-second uber charge, one gives you crits, one gives you a complete ammo refill, and another teleports you back to base, as well as a special one for the NGs, which will upgrade all their buildings to level 3 instantly, which is really handy, say if someone takes down your level 3 sentry and you really quickly need to get another one up, because trying to build one in the heat of battle when all the robots seem to be targeting it is really hard. So that's a real nice.
There's also kind of a remnants of a picture here that's been taken out of a wall. That's probably another canteen that might be added in the future. I mean, it looks like it's a picture that got torn out of the wall.
They do have a lot of that sort of torn off the wall stuff, around the page anyway. So I don't know if necessarily.
Yeah, the tank.
Would be
the
cool.
tank similarly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically the way the gameplay works. I guess we should all get our thoughts on it. So Vic, what do you think of it?
Well, it's kind of everything I expected from it, really. I mean, it's really great. Plays very well. It's really replayable, really enjoyable, and it's kind of it, really. I mean, man up mode, and it's kind of a small problem that they had. They could have done a lot more work on that. The idea itself is okay, but the execution is bad. It
should probably explain what man up mode is. Basically, you can go into the Steam store, and not Steam, sorry, the TF2 store, and you can buy a ticket, a man up ticket. And what this basically allows you to do, Tour of Duty ticket. And what that basically does is allow you to play on a man up server, which is an official Valve server. You can play on other Valve servers are up, but the man up ones specifically are Valve servers. And you can go into those, and if you have this ticket, you can access that, and you pretty much, I think you're guaranteed to get an item at the end.
So the thing about Man Up is once you do a mission, as part of a Tour of Duty, a mission you haven't done before, you get a random hat item. Not sure what it is. It's definitely a random item. Like, it's not always a valuable, a rare item, but it is random. Many people say they get hats. So Tour of Duty is kind of like a small collection of maps, missions taking place on the same map. Once you finish a Tour of Duty, you get a rare item, which is a bot killer weapon. And sometimes a hat as well. These are kind of like things that you put on your weapon or your hat, so you can show your bot killing skills to everyone. And as part of Man Up, you also get a Tour of Duty badge, which tracks your progress through a different Tour of Duty. So that's kind of it.
There was also you also have the Squad Surplus voucher, which it isn't a replacement for the Man Up for the Tour of Duty ticket. But if you have one, that means that everyone in your team gets a second drop, which is
even if it's a mission you've done before.
Yeah. Which means that, and you can also stack those. So say if you had six people, the squad tickets, you'd all get 6 items, which is really quite cool.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, crazy man. So many hats.
It's crazy.
Yeah. The problem they had with man up mode, I mean, the idea of it is kind of like you get these rewards and it's harder. It be really unforgiving actually, man up mode.
Isn't it the same? Isn't it the same?
I found that a lot of the waves were a lot harder. Personally, I don't know if I can. Maybe I suck. I don't know, but I can. That's probably it. But yeah, I felt like they were a lot harder actually.
Yeah,
which I guess would make sense in that mode. The problem was, I think initially it was a bit unclear whether like accessing man up mode was purely to get onto a Valve server or whether it was just an extra Valve server specifically for that mode. I think that was a bit unclear at the start.
It's an extra Valve server. So yeah, it was very unclear. Like the FAQ page he had here was pretty kind of unclear on a lot of things. But Cheap Arnett confirmed in a Steam forum email posted on Steam forums that there's boot camp servers run by Valve as well. So you can get vanilla stock servers for matchmaking even if you don't have a Tour of Duty ticket.
Yeah.
But there were obviously way more Valve servers on Man Up mode than on Bootcamp.
Also, the problem came. Not only was there some severe lag issues in these servers, like really bad. Like there was times where it was literally like I'd be able to play for about 5 seconds before lag spike. I'd play a bit more, lag spike. It would be like that every 5 seconds. It was terrible. Not only that, but due to the demand when it first came out, queue times for Bootcamp were up to about. We're about to like 40 minutes max. It was really bad. No, sorry, 40 minutes. Like 4 minutes was the max I've seen, but it was getting to like 30 minutes minimum. It was really like heavy times of wait, which is quite crippling for that because Super Monday Night Combat, people are saying the game's dying because people have to wait for about like 3 minutes. So you can see how big that is.
But the thing is, I mean, it's understandable. The game mode had barely launched, and the community folks hadn't even had a chance to set up their dedicated servers. So demand was high, but supply was very low because there were only official servers up, and most of those were on Man Up. But since then, the situation is remedied.
Yeah.
And you can definitely use a server browser now. It's a lot easier to work with because there's a lot more community servers now. It takes a lot less time. But the thing is about man versus machine, the bots are actual bots. They occupy player slots. So server owners need to leave 26 slots open that those bots are going to occupy. They want a maximum number of bots and maximum number of players, which only leaves room for spectators. So it can be kind of hard. I guess this is why they implemented matchmaking to begin with. Matchmaking as a whole, they should add more functionality to it because they don't have local hosting, which is something they need to add. Portal 2 added, Alien Swarm had it, and they don't have permissions either. I mean, you can't join an existing party, which is could have been interesting.
You can't. There's a join game in process option.
No, like a party that's waiting already, that's in the queue.
Yeah,
you can't do that, and
that
you can do it on.
See, because we had a party of 5 people, and all we needed was one more person to come in with us. But that was causing our wait time to go up because we didn't have the full team ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which that would be a nice option. I mean, Left 4 Dead has that.
Yeah, Alien Swarm has it.
Yeah,
if Alien Swarm has something, everything else needs to have it. That's how Alien Swarm works.
If fucking Alien Swarm has a slightly better matchmaking system than you,
this is important. This is important, right?
Yeah. So John, what did you think of the mode?
Overall, besides the wait time, I enjoyed it a lot. The only thing I hate though is, the whole point of the trailer is show that you're teaming up with red and blue. But if you notice, when you're in game, you're all red fighting against blue bots.
Yeah, that annoyed me. See, because if it was grey, I could clearly distinguish. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really could. And
not as clearly as you do when it's blue. I mean, the thing about red, it's always the winning team in the trailers and the videos. Red is meant to symbolize the winning guys in all the Meet the Team videos. So, the case, that's the same thing here. I mean, imagine if you're just walking around, you literally just joined your first game, you see this blue guy, you're on the red team. What do? You instantly start shooting him. And you're already wasting your ammunition. And Man vs. Machine doesn't even have resupply cabinets, so I can understand
that's a
why.
big deal, actually.
I can understand why they went for the red guys, blue robots approach. I mean, it
Right,
makes sense.
I think when you come down to it as well, it's a lot easier for them on their side. Like, they don't need to program a new team basically, which they'd have to do because you'd have to have the two different player types, then cancelling out saying this player type can attack this player type, then adding another party as it is. I can understand the simplicity reasons, but it's kind of a cop out when all of the advertising has led to it.
Well, it's just a symbolic
Right.
thing.
I know, but it is disappointing. I mean, I understand that there's a lot of work and programming involved into having each team and all that, but it's just like Patrick saying, it's kind of a cop out when the advertising showing
It
red
really
and blue
makes
fighting together.
It really makes.
I know, but I'm picky like that. I'm sorry.
If you want to be picky about something, be picky about the fact that the giant robots are not giant. That is not right. No, the
That
giant
is
robots.
true.
They're moderately tall, if anything.
Not like
Yeah,
feeling
they're
the
not
trailer were like
huge.
gigantic.
Hmm.
Another thing
really
from the trailer. There you go.
Even on the update page, I was looking, I was like, God, how are we gonna shoot these guys? It's unbelievable. Oh, and now they're like, oh, we're kind of lanky, but we're not
They're
giants.
basically like sort of the same height as the Headless Horseman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was expecting huge, sort of stomping around, sort of through these.
Me too.
It's
Even
just
the
tiny
tank.
baby.
The tank as well. They had that update page where we're so scared of the tank. It runs on human blood because it's always covered in it. Sounds like this little rolling metal box. Doesn't even have an attack. You can stand in front of it. It isn't even gonna run you over. It's
It doesn't
unbelievable.
run you over.
I
saw
think it should run you
Spy
over,
sort of
though.
standing there originally, and I was like, when I first saw this thing come out, and I was like, shit, move out of the way. I think it's going to trample you. Just this guy doing a spy crab, where you look up, just getting
No.
pushed along by this truck. I was like, that is the most terrifying thing ever. Runs on human blood. What were you saying, John? Sorry, I cut you into you. But
No, it was just the trailer made us see all this different stuff, and then here we play it, and it's like, oh, we're all red. The tank doesn't even kill you when you touch it, and those giant robots aren't so giant anymore. So
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Valve's always taken some artistic license in its promotional material. I mean, you always see how different the source filmmaker stuff looks from the stuff they actually release. So much better.
obviously, yeah. My personal feelings on the mode, I'm a bit about it. I mean, I like the stuff they're doing. I do like the upgrade system. That's really cool. Like the amount of customability you can have, and I like the whole idea of the mode. But on paper, it sounds great. But in practice, I was just a bit bored by it. I mean, the most fun I had was when I played with John and a group of people. The most fun I had was joking around with a bunch of people I kind of knew. That kind of thing was fun. And when you had a team that was working well, that's good. But if you're going in solo, it's I don't think it does anything that spectacular to really make it stand out in a very saturated genre of this kind of game type. I mean, Halo, Call of Duty, they all have this stuff now. I mean,
I'd say
it does it much better than them. Don't get me wrong, but it's still a bit just like.
No, I'd say it definitely stands out in a really good way. I mean, even from Killing Floor, which was something that a lot of people were saying, oh, this is such a rip-off of Killing Floor, unbelievable. It's so different from that. It's played so much more, in a much more replayable manner, a much more interesting manner. I mean, you can tell that they put a lot of fun into this, a lot of work into this. I think it's really great, and on the whole, I can't really say anything bad about it. Apart from those things, we pointed out with the trailer saying this and the game showing that. But it's really well done. I really hope they keep working on it because it would be a shame to stop working on this point.
Well, my thing is, they introduced this new brother. Where is this going to take TF2 now? We finally get Man vs. Machine, and we have been introduced to this new brother, and the other two are now dead.
Well, yeah, that's kind of a thing.
Where is this storyline going to go now?
Well, the thing is, it might sort of represent the end for Team Fortress 2 in a way. At least the end for significant content support. Like, not the
Yeah.
total end, but sort of a half end, right? Like, they've already spent 5 years working on this thing, and at one point they've got to put all those resources into something else, be it, Dota 2 or maybe even Team Fortress 3. But the point is, yeah, I think this might just be the end. I mean, Gray killing everyone is kind of a testament to that.
Mm.
You
Unless
know?
they do a time travel thing.
Oh God, no.
God.
Heavy's like, Marty, get the...
Well, remember that
the medic's
picture from back.
Get back, get in the DeLorean, like that, and then they travel back in time, and that'd be amazing. That should be their first movie.
We'll write
Definitely.
that down. We're
Heavy
going
and
to
Medic
do
go
that.
back in time.
The Adventures of Heavy and Medic.
That would be amazing. Time traveling adventures with Heavy Medic. If Valve make that, they owe me money.
No way.
I
No way.
Conceptually, they can hire me, and I'll help them out with it.
Patrick, me and you are going to make that for
Yeah.
Source Filmmaker.
That'll
That's
be
what
our
we're doing.
source filmmaker project. Yeah, so that's all we all think of the mode, and I do think you're right, Vic. You know, it seems like that kind of it's the end of anything major from TF2, unless they do something big, like I just said. Obviously, time travel's a bit ridiculous to say, but like that's all. You know, it seems
They
like that's the
already-
only place you can
They
go,
already
really.
do have time travel, though. Like, they have medieval mode where the soldier's roommate magician gets angry at them and teleports them back to 9th
It's all
century.
being hinted at. See, they're gonna go back in time. It's happening. Time travel is gonna be a major.
Well, if you look, there's a poster sold on the Valve store that shows the old team of mercenaries that had like Abraham Lincoln was
Yeah, that's from
the
Loose
pyro.
Cannon. That's from Loose Cannon, the engineer update.
yeah,
right. So I mean, there are possibilities that maybe they would consider looking into, but
Mm.
never know.
There was a what are they called? The guys who do all the modeling and stuff. They had a competition. Polycount, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they had a group of people who were dedicated to actually reskinning all the TF2 characters as the old style. So, you know, like the sort of wily sort of demo man with like the ginger beard and the big black heavy with the hammer and that sort of thing. They're doing a really good job of it. I don't know how far they've got now, but that'd be really interesting as a skin pack if anyone's interested in that.
Also, be interesting if the Team Fortress 2 team sort of crossed back with the Team Fortress Classic team, because that exists in the same continuity.
Yeah,
And the engineer is the
Yeah.
son of the Team Fortress Classic engineer.
yeah.
So that would be interesting to see sort of Team Fortress Classic fiction and gameplay in this newer universe.
Yeah.
See how it fits in.
Then, and also there was a lot of people that came up with female models for like the Scout, NG, Spy. So there's
Yeah,
another
I think people have
possibility.
been kind of pushing for that sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit like it doesn't really do much to the gameplay, but still be nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hmm.
They did want to have female models in CS:GO.
Hmm.
Like, they had a huge amount of concept art on that. But I think they only have it for the Anarchist faction by this point. They don't have any other females on anywhere else.
Hmm.
Well, I think we've pretty much come to an end now. That's pretty much covered.
Only
everything.
thing I wanted to add though,
Yeah.
I mean this is kind of going back to big picture mode, is how is that going to work exactly, or do we not know that yet?
We
Because-
don't know. We
because-
don't know.
Clear.
Because it's like, are you supposed to plug in your computer to your TV monitor, or
Something like that.
That's pretty much what it is. I mean that is possible. Like,
because every time I keep hearing it, it sounds like, oh, they're making like a box or something that you're going to plug in and have your whole
Well,
Steam
what they
thing
said
on
on-
there, but
Gabe said on GTTV was like
Greg Kumar.
both of them, both
Greg,
Greg and
Yeah,
Gabe
yeah.
did say something about they were looking. They even mentioned that, yeah, if somebody wants to come up with a console system for us.
Yeah.
Isn't
Jeff
that
was
right,
like,
Patrick?
if someone made it and said this will run Steam and I put it up, and then they said if they want their support on it, then that's fine. You know what I mean?
But I mean, the most detail we have on how it's going to work is Greg Kumar saying in early September, you're going to load up your PC and you're going to be seeing Steam reformatted for your TV. So we don't know if it's going to be something optional. I mean, there were those leftover strings in the Steam client that said switch to big picture mode. So I guess it's going to be an option. But we still don't know how it's going to work.
Maybe
Like
it's
how
wireless.
I'd see it as like as a switch. Like you go into your options, you go big picture mode. It completely reformats Steam to work from a TV interface. I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, but how does it detect the TV?
I think
Yes,
you're probably going to have to plug it in. I know that sounds primitive now, but
Oh,
I know.
God.
But what if it was wireless though? Like your Steam's like, hey, go to the TV, and if your TV's one of the new smart TVs that picks up the wireless stuff,
Hey, that'd be badass. I'd love that to happen. But
Maybe.
I don't know if we're at that stage yet.
What, am I Bill Gates that can afford wireless TVs? Good God.
Steam in 3D. You have to have a 3D TV to work it. So I think that's pretty much going to be a wrap for us. There was some stuff we haven't really discussed, but we'll bring that up next week and follow up in the wrap. I think is best because we've been going for quite a while. So thanks to everyone for coming. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thank you, John. Thank you, Vic.
And
Great job.
Thank you.
and Patrick's internet for crashing.
Yeah. I use post office broadband, so don't frickin' buy that, alright?
Post
You're in the UK. Don't bother.
Post office
Yeah,
makes it
honestly,
sound like
on
you're...
the router, there's a little post office logo on it. It's the cutest. It's bad internet, though.
so
Anyway,
cute. The post office is so cute.
they are. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Bye.
See you guys.
Goodbye.